Have you ever had a moment like that? A moment when all your beliefs came crashing down in the blink of an eye. I've had that moment, and I will never forget it. I'm Lauren Mitchell, 35 years old, a resilient single mom, a woman who's always believed in the power of family. And most of all, I'm the mother of Olivia, my 8-year-old daughter with the clearest brown eyes, a smile that lights up the room, and the sweetest heart you could imagine. We used to live in Los Angeles, a hectic life surrounded by towering buildings. I worked in media. My schedule was packed day after day. After years of exhaustion, I decided to make a change. We moved to the Florida Keys, a picture-perfect coastal paradise, a place where I believed my daughter could have a happier childhood. And here I met Ethan Reynolds, a veterinarian, the warmest man I've ever known. He loved Olivia as if she were his own. A year after we married, Ethan legally adopted Olivia. We became a complete family, or so I thought, until that fateful day. Ethan's family is quite well off. His parents own a beachfront mansion and a private yacht worth millions. Grace Reynolds, my mother-in-law, a powerful woman in the local elite circles. Charles Reynolds, my father-in-law, calm but always deferring to his wife. They have a biological grandson, Mason, the son of Ethan's younger brother. Mason is 9, smart, but a bit too spoiled. I had no issue with Mason. He's a sweet kid. But what broke my heart was how Grace treated Olivia. From the very beginning, she made the difference clear. Mason always received expensive gifts. Olivia would get tiny trinkets. Whenever the family went on outings, Mason was given priority. Olivia was left behind with lame excuses. One time Mason was taken water skiing. Olivia excitedly asked Grace if she could go too. Grace gave her a cold smile. Because you're not a Reynolds. That sentence felt like a knife in my heart, but I held it in. I didn't want to cause a family rift. Ethan had tried talking to his parents, but all he got were excuses. Don't be so sensitive. Everything's fair. What a joke. How is it fair when a child is always treated as an outsider? I didn't want Olivia to grow up in that kind of environment, but I also didn't want to sever her relationship with her grandparents. I believed that adults could change, that they could learn to love more fairly, but I was wrong. Last month, I had a business trip to New York. Just 3 days. Ethan was home to care for Olivia, but unexpectedly, Ethan got an emergency call. A baby dolphin was severely injured. He was the only specialized vet nearby. He couldn't say no, so he asked his parents to watch Olivia for a day. I was a little worried, but he reassured me. They'll take good care of her. Just one day, no one could have predicted what would happen. On the second day of my trip, the project was suddenly postponed. I had the chance to fly back earlier. I decided to surprise Olivia. I imagined her running into my arms, telling me all about her day. But when I got home, the house was eerily quiet. Grace and Charles's car wasn't in the garage. I was surprised. Maybe they'd taken Olivia out. I walked inside, heard clattering sounds from the kitchen. I called out, "Olivia?" No response. I hurried toward the sound, and what I saw stopped me cold. My little Olivia kneeling on the cold kitchen floor, one hand gripping a scrub brush, the other wiping away tears. The bucket next to her was murky. She was trembling, her hair in a tangled mess, her clothes filthy. I was speechless. "Olivia, what are you doing?" She looked up, eyes red and swollen, her tiny voice quivering. "I'm cleaning the floor, Mommy. I spilled orange juice. Grandma said I had to clean the whole floor. If not, I'd be punished." "Where is she?" I asked. "They took Mason to a yacht party. She said I didn't deserve to go. I need to learn to be grateful for being allowed to live here." My heart shattered. I pulled her into my arms. I couldn't hold back my anger anymore. "My sweet girl, no one has the right to say that to you. You are my daughter. You deserve to be loved just like any other child. I comforted her, took her to wash her face, to scrub away the dirt and the tears of injustice. When Ethan came home, I told him everything. He was shaking with rage. He immediately called his parents, Grace answered, and with the same cold tone, she needs to learn her place. If she's not a Reynolds, she should know it. Her words were fuel to the fire. Ethan declared on the spot, "From now on, you will not see Olivia unsupervised. You'll only see her when we are present." Grace screamed, threatening to tell the whole family that I was destroying their relationships. But I didn't care. All I cared about was protecting my daughter. In the days that followed, Olivia remained haunted. She feared no one loved her. I had to explain, over and over, took her to a child psychologist, helped her understand. It wasn't her fault. The adults were wrong. Slowly, Olivia began to regain her trust. But I know that scar will remain in her heart, and I, her mother, will never let anyone hurt her again. The days after that, Olivia became unusually quiet. She no longer chattered like before. No more stories from school. Every night as I held her close, I could feel her little heart pulling away. Some wounds run deep. They don't bleed, but they suffocate you. I knew I had to do something. I had to help her overcome that fear. I reached out to a child psychologist, Dr. Lisa Harper, a gentle woman with deep understanding of children. From the very first session, Lisa earned Olivia's trust. Slowly, Olivia opened up and told her everything that had happened. I sat beside her, listening, my heart breaking. "Do you feel like an outsider?" Lisa asked softly. Olivia nodded slightly. "Grandma said I'm not a Reynolds. I should be grateful that Mommy adopted me. Otherwise, I would have ended up in an orphanage." Those words daggered my child's tender heart. Lisa gently embraced Olivia. "My sweet girl, you are worthy of love. No one has the right to belittle you. Blood doesn't define your worth. It's love that makes a family." That session brought Olivia some relief, but I knew she hadn't forgotten. Every night before bed, she would ask me, "Mommy, am I really your daughter?" "Of course, sweetheart. You are my treasure. I will always love you and protect you." I held her tightly, as if shielding her from life's storms. Meanwhile, Ethan's family was in turmoil. Grace kept calling Ethan, accusing me of tearing the family apart, threatening to tell everyone I was selfish. But Ethan stood firm. We had made our decision clear. There would be no unsupervised visits. If they crossed the line again, we were ready to cut ties completely. But it didn't stop there. A week later, there was a big family birthday party. Ethan and I decided to let Olivia attend, on one condition: we would stay by her side the entire time. I didn't want her alone in that toxic environment. That day, Olivia wore her favorite white dress. She looked radiant, and I felt both proud and anxious. Would she be hurt again? Could I protect her through the whole event? Those questions kept swirling in my mind. As we entered the hall, every eye turned toward the three of us. Grace sat among the relatives, glaring coldly at me. Charles forced a polite smile, but I didn't care. My focus was on Olivia. She gripped my hand tightly. "Mommy, I'm scared." "It's okay, sweetheart. Mommy and Daddy are here. No one can harm you." Throughout the party, Grace deliberately ignored Olivia, her attention solely on Mason. But I didn't care. As long as my daughter was happy. Mason truly adored Olivia. He ran over and invited her to play. The two of them laughed and played together. Seeing that warmed my heart. Children hold no prejudice. It's adults who poison young hearts. But then something happened. While playing catch, Olivia accidentally spilled a glass of water on the carpet. Grace immediately sprang up, eyes blazing. "See, she's so clumsy. Mason would never do this." Before anyone could respond, I stepped forward, voice calm but firm. "It's not Olivia's fault. It was a simple accident. Kids will be kids. Please don't compare them. Grace's face turned red, but she couldn't argue. Charles gently pulled her back down. The tension was palpable, but I didn't care. I only cared about protecting my daughter. After the party, on the drive home, Olivia suddenly asked me, "Mommy, why does Grandma hate me?" Those words cut straight into my heart. My sweet girl, Grandma has some misguided beliefs, but you don't need to change to earn her love. You only need to be yourself. Mommy and Daddy love you for who you are, not because you're adopted or biological. Do you understand? Olivia nodded, but her eyes still held a trace of sadness. I knew the journey to heal her little heart had only just begun. After that party, Ethan and I became even more determined to protect Olivia from invisible wounds. We discussed everything carefully, how to set clear boundaries with his family. No more letting things slide. No more staying silent for the sake of peace. What kind of peace is that? When your child is treated unfairly, we decided to have a direct conversation. Invited Grace and Charles to our home, with both of us present, so everything would be clear, so no one could deny it later. That meeting was tense from the start. Grace walked in, her face cold as ice. Charles looked awkward. I kept my voice calm. Today we want to make things clear, to avoid any more unnecessary misunderstandings. Grace smirked. I don't see anything that needs to be said. I looked her straight in the eye. What about making Olivia scrub the floor alone? What about telling her she's not a Reynolds? What about constantly comparing her to Mason? Each word I spoke was an arrow aimed at Grace's fortress of denial. Charles spoke first. Maybe we were too harsh, but we only wanted to teach her a lesson. A lesson? You mean teaching my daughter to feel inferior, teaching her she's unworthy? I asked again, my voice trembling with restrained anger. Grace crossed her arms. She's not part of this bloodline. She should know her place. Those words felt like a slap in the face for both me and Ethan. Ethan slammed his hand on the table. Enough, Mom. You don't have to accept Lauren, but you have no right to hurt my daughter. She is my daughter, the legal daughter of this family. If you can't respect that, then you won't be seeing her anymore. Grace's eyes widened. You dare speak to me like that? I have to, Mom, because I have to protect my daughter. Ethan said firmly. I saw a flicker of regret in Charles's eyes, but he wasn't strong enough to stand up to his wife. In the end, Grace stood up. Then we'll leave. Don't expect us to visit again. She grabbed Charles and stormed out. Ethan and I sat in silence, our hearts heavy. That evening, we held Olivia close and told her what had happened. Sweetheart, Grandma and Grandpa won't be coming to our house anymore. Mommy and Daddy want you to be happy. We don't want you to be hurt again. Olivia looked at me, her eyes sparkling with tears. Mommy, did I do something wrong? No, my love. You didn't do anything wrong. It's the adults who are wrong. You just need to be yourself. Mommy and Daddy love you unconditionally. No matter what happens. Olivia buried her head in my chest, sobbing. Mommy, I just want to be loved. Those words shattered my heart. In the days that followed, the extended family started buzzing. Grace called every aunt, uncle, and cousin, blaming everything on me, accusing me of dividing the family, saying I had turned Ethan against his parents. Some believed her. They called to criticize me. Some even called me selfish, but I didn't care. I didn't need their approval. I only needed my daughter's peace. And then something unexpected happened. Michael, Ethan's younger brother, Mason's father, called my husband. Ethan, can you tell me what really happened? I don't believe everything Mom said. Ethan told him everything. No sugarcoating. Michael went silent, then sighed. I'm sorry. I didn't know Mom had gone that far. Mason came home and told me. He said Grandma made Olivia scrub the floor. He even asked me, why doesn't Grandma love Olivia? It broke my heart. Michael wanted the kids to keep seeing each other, but under close supervision. We agreed. Olivia adored Mason. I didn't want her to lose a good friend because of adults' mistakes. From then on, Michael became our strongest ally in the family. He defended Olivia whenever anyone spoke ill of her. He even confronted his parents, especially Grace. Mom, you need to change, or you'll lose both of your grandchildren. I knew the road ahead would still be long. Grace wouldn't change overnight, but at least Ethan and I had protected our daughter, and we had taught her the most important lesson, that love doesn't come from blood. It comes from the heart. After that honest conversation, Grace and Charles stopped coming to our house. No more questioning phone calls from her. But the sting of her cruel words still lingered deep in Olivia's heart. Every night before bed, she would ask me the same question. Mommy, when I grow up, will I still be your daughter? Those words broke my heart. My love, no matter how big you grow, no matter where you go, you will always be my daughter. My love for you will never change. Those words of reassurance gradually eased Olivia's fears. But I knew deep wounds take time to heal. I stayed patient, beside her every day, took her to see Dr. Lisa regularly. With each session, Olivia opened up a little more. She learned to express her feelings, no longer bottling them up inside. One day, after a session, Olivia held my hand. Mommy, can I ask you something? Of course, sweetheart. If I'm not a Reynolds, does that make me a bad person? No, my love. Being a Reynolds or not doesn't matter. What matters is that you are kind, smart, and loved by so many people. Never let anyone's words make you doubt your worth. Olivia nodded, a hint of confidence in her eyes. Meanwhile, Mason kept calling Olivia on video chats. They remained as close as ever. One time during a call, Mason said, Olivia, Grandma is wrong. You're the best cousin I have. No one gets to say you're not family. Hearing that touched my heart deeply. Children truly have the purest hearts. It's the adults who complicate things. Thanks to Mason, Olivia worried less. She understood. Not everyone in the family thought like Grace. She learned to tell who treated her kindly and who didn't deserve her respect. One afternoon, when I picked her up from school, she told me, Mommy, today my teacher asked, does anyone have someone special in their family? I raised my hand. I said, I have Mommy. I have Daddy Ethan. I have Uncle Michael and Mason. I'm very proud of my family. Hearing that brought tears to my eyes. My little girl was healing, learning to be proud of her family. I knew this journey wouldn't be easy. There would still be moments of pain, but I believed with enough love, we could help her overcome anything. As for Ethan's family, Michael became even more determined. He would text Ethan and me often. If anything happens, I'm ready to stand with you. I was so grateful for that. Not everyone in the family was as stubborn as Grace. One day, Michael brought Mason over to our house. The kids hugged each other with joy. Seeing that made me certain I had done the right thing, keeping their friendship intact. Michael sat down to talk with Ethan and me. He said, Mason keeps asking, why doesn't Grandma like Olivia? I had to explain carefully. Children aren't to blame. It's us adults who must take responsibility. Ethan sighed. I know, but can Mom really change? Michael looked at him. I'm not sure, but I'll try. At the very least, I want her to understand. If she keeps this up, she might lose her own grandson too. Those conversations made me realize something. Every family has its dark corners. What matters is that we have the courage to face them and stand firm, to protect what is right especially when it comes to the happiness of our children. Time passed day by day. Olivia slowly regained her bright smile, but I knew her heart hadn't fully healed yet. We continued our regular therapy sessions. Lisa was always so patient with Olivia. Every time Olivia opened up a little more, I felt a weight lift from my heart. One day, Lisa spoke with Ethan and me. I think it's time to give Olivia a chance to face the old situation again, but this time with her parents by her side, so she can learn not to be afraid. Ethan and I discussed it carefully. We didn't want to force Olivia to face Grace, but we also didn't want her to avoid reality forever. We decided to ask Olivia first. One warm evening, as we sat together as a family, I gently asked her, "Sweetheart, would you like to see Grandma again? This time, Mommy and Daddy will be right there with you. If you don't want to, we won't make you." Olivia thought for a long time. Then she said, "I want to see her. I want to tell Grandma I'm not afraid anymore." Hearing that made me both proud and emotional. My little girl was so brave. We arranged a meeting at an outdoor cafe, open space, comfortable for Olivia and for us. Michael also came to support us. Grace and Charles arrived on time. Grace wore her usual proud expression. Charles looked uneasy. The meeting began with tension in the air, but we stayed calm. Michael spoke first. "Mom, we're here today, not to blame anyone, but to rebuild family relationships. If you still care about your grandchildren." Grace huffed, but didn't object. Olivia sat next to me, her small hand gripping mine tightly. I gave her hand a gentle squeeze. Then unexpectedly, Olivia lifted her head, looked Grace straight in the eyes, her voice clear. "Grandma, I know I'm not part of this family's bloodline, but I have a heart. I can feel pain. I don't want to be treated like an outsider anymore. If you don't love me, that's okay, because I have Mommy and Daddy who love me so much. But I want you to know I'm not afraid anymore." Her innocent words brought silence to the table. Charles lowered his head. Michael looked at Olivia with pride, and me, tears welled up in my eyes. My little girl was stronger than I ever imagined. Grace remained silent for a long time, then finally sighed. "I know I've done many wrong things. I'm not sure I can fix them, but I will try. If you'll give me a chance." For the first time, I heard sincerity in Grace's voice. I nodded. "We're always open, if you truly want to change. But there will be clear boundaries. You must never hurt Olivia again." Grace nodded in agreement. The meeting ended on a much lighter note. On the way home, Olivia hugged me tight. "Mommy, was it okay that I said those things? You spoke beautifully, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you. You faced your fear with courage." Olivia beamed. "I'm not afraid anymore, Mommy, because I know you and Daddy are always with me." In the days that followed, Grace took the initiative. She called Ethan to ask about Olivia. She even sent me a formal apology by text. That apology didn't erase the past, but to me, it was a new beginning, a glimmer of hope for our family. Michael also organized a small picnic, just his family and ours, so the kids could play freely without adult conflicts hanging over them. The picnic was full of joy. Mason and Olivia laughed and played all afternoon. Watching them, I felt this truth deeply. Children only need love and respect. They don't care about the pointless grudges of adults. Time flew by like the wind. Olivia's emotional wounds gradually healed. Her innocent smile returned. In her eyes, I could see that warm light once again. After that picnic, Grace asked to meet Olivia again, but this time, with Ethan and me present, we agreed, but stayed cautious. We wouldn't let her hurt Olivia again. The meeting took place at a park near our home. Grace brought a box of homemade cookies. She handed them to Olivia a bit timidly. "I know I haven't been kind to you before. I'm sorry. I want to start over. If you'll let me. Olivia looked at me, then smiled gently. I'll give you a chance. But please, don't ever call me an outsider again. I'm Mommy and Daddy's daughter. I'm part of this family too. Grace's eyes welled up. She nodded softly. I promise, I'll never say that again. I knew a promise couldn't erase the past, but it was a big step forward. In the weeks that followed, Grace tried to show change. She invited Olivia for dinner, but each time, either Ethan or I was there to supervise. She also spoke more gently. No more harsh words. Olivia slowly opened up. She wasn't as guarded around Grandma, but I knew there was still caution in her heart, and that was perfectly natural. We always taught her to forgive, but also to protect herself. One day, Olivia asked me, Mommy, what is family? I smiled at her. Family isn't about blood. Family is the people who love you, who stand by you, who protect you, no matter what. Olivia nodded. You're right, Mommy. I have you. I have Daddy. I have Uncle Michael and Mason. I have a wonderful family. Hearing that filled my heart with joy. We continued the therapy sessions. Lisa told Ethan and me, Olivia has made great progress. She knows her worth now. She won't let others' words define her. But it's important to keep supporting her, so she'll grow even stronger. A year after that terrible incident, our family was more at peace. Grace still had much to learn, but at least she no longer acted as she once did. Charles became more proactive. He connected with Olivia more often. Michael remained our strongest ally. Mason and Olivia grew closer than ever. Those two children taught the adults a valuable lesson. Looking back, I believe even more firmly, being a parent is not just about loving your child. It's about standing up for them, no matter who you're facing. True family isn't about blood. It's about choice, compassion, and unconditional love. If you're listening to this story and you face something similar, remember this: you have the right to set boundaries to protect your child. You have the right to say no to toxicity, even if it comes from your own family, because children need safety and love above all else. My story ends here, but the journey of parenthood never truly ends. Each day is a new chance to love our children better, to understand them more deeply, and to be their strongest source of support. If this story touched your heart, please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's keep spreading messages of love and family together. Thank you for listening.